It's time for another viewer match, and what I got for you today is a Silver League Protoss versus Protoss. Spawning in the southwest corner, playing with the red Protoss pieces, we have none other than the player known by the nickname of Keter. And his opponent, spawning in the cross position and playing in blue, we have none other than Psycho, and he will be playing with the blue Protoss probes today. Now, of course, like I mentioned, this is going to be a Silver League match. That does mean that both of these players may very well go for very, very wild strategies. I mean, for the most part, in particular, the higher and higher you go up on the ladder, the more standardized these strategies become as well. You know, most of the time, people will figure out at least a way of staying safe in the earlier part of the game. And Keter, actually, he is sending out a scouting probe really early on into this match, so we'll keep an eye out on exactly what this little dude has got in store for us here today. There's a gateway going down right now for Psycho. So far, it's looking very, very standard actually for both of these players. However, Keter is already saving up 300 minerals, and no, I was gonna say, judging by that super early scouting probe, I was gonna say he's not gonna go for a Nexus first. One of those builds that's generally speaking not very common anyway in PvP, usually a little bit too risky. The question is, however, will his opponent scout exactly what's going on? So Psycho indeed did put up the gateway. He's not gonna be able to get a second gateway just yet. He may very well decide to get one very, very shortly, but I think indeed that Keter is planning on some Zealot aggression really early on into this match. He's planning on rallying Zealots straight into his opponent's main base. There's no Cybernetics Core follow-up, of course. He's not getting any gases here whatsoever. What is he going to build here? Oh, he's adding on a forts as well. I was going to say, is he kind of really add on a fourth gateway all the way back at home? That would be a little bit gimmicky. Regardless, though, Psycho is indeed getting himself that Cybernetics Core out, but at this point, he knows absolutely nothing of these gateways just yet. He does not know that they are up, and this is actually a little bit scary. No Protoss scout right now from the player in blue, and that does mean that he's going to be in some trouble. Following it up with double assimilator as well, so he is planning to tech up here very, very shortly, but I wonder if it is going to be in time. Another pylon apparently is now also being added on right here on the low ground. Not entirely sure what purpose that one serves, but very shortly I think that Keter indeed will be able to start chrono boosting out these Zealots, and they will come out in pairs of 3. I guess the 3 musketeers. No, not really the 3 musketeers. Actually, he's also not actually chrono boosting. He's chrono boosting a non-producing Nexus. A little bit unfortunate right there. Now Psycho is indeed trying to kill right now that probe with one of the Zealots that he's got. So far, he knows absolutely nothing of any of this aggression, and he's going to be in for a little bit of trouble here very shortly. Now, he is following this up, luckily for him, with 3 additional gateways. These pylons right here are a little bit... I don't think this one right here is powering the gateways at the top. Maybe the one right here, but definitely not the other 2. And I think this may very well be a little bit of trouble because the Zealots have arrived on the other end of the map. I think they should go straight after the pylon right there indeed. Now, there's actually no warp gate research right here for Psycho for some reason. Nice little bit of micro right there. Look at that. That was really well done, but there's no warp gate research right now for the player in blue. That does mean that he's not going to be able to warp in units very, very easily. Now, the Mothership Core, of course, will be able to shoot away at these Zealots for as long as she would like, but already more and more Musketeers are joining this one. The 6 Musketeers, I don't know if that works, but still, this is going to be a little bit of trouble. Look at this micro once again. Keter definitely hitting way above his skill level right there with that micro. That was really well executed, making sure that he does not lose any of those Zealots unnecessarily. Now he's sacrificing a couple of them, assuming, I think, as well that his opponent is indeed researching that warp gate tech, but so far that is indeed not the case. Another pylon does get added on, as well as a fort. Now, so far, Keter indeed ended up losing the single probe, so he's not kind of rushing his opponent just yet. Maybe he's planning to do so in just a little bit. I figured he would go for the Zealots as well as the cannons inside of his opponent's main base, but right now 3 Zealots have arrived at the mineral line. More and more Zealots are jumping up into the main base. I'm starting to get a little worried right here for Psycho. I mean, he's losing an awful lot of his early game economy, and while apparently the handful of Zealots here that are left over are currently after the Cybernetics Core, I think that this is going to be a very, very, very tough call to make right now for the player in blue. What exactly is he going to follow this up with, right? Because there's so many Zealots here already ready to go, and they're hacking away at all of his unit-producing structures. I mean, look at that. 5, 6 Zealots out right now. He's going to add on a couple of cannons, and maybe, actually, Keter is not paying attention right here. No, he can't see him. That's a big deal. He cannot see the cannons right now. Well, he can certainly see it at this point. He's immediately responding here as well. Still, of course, no warp gate tech available. Psycho going after that pylon. I actually like that one a lot, but the one that is powering all of these gates is going to be right here in the center, and this is going to be a little bit weird because there is no way that Keter can actually shut this one down. There is no way that he can kill this in time. Photon Overcharge will go down once again. Buys a whole lot of time here as well. And while a lot of the Protoss probes are still up and running, I think that considering the amount of, cannons that are available right now, I'm pretty sure that Keter will not be able to break this. Is he going to commit though? I think he has to, right? There's not really a whole lot he can do here at home. He is once again producing more and more probes here at the main base as well. So I guess he is planning on transitioning. Now it's currently 46 versus only 31 supply. Of course he will be able to go after the Nexus here, right? I would actually love to see him just simply target fire down the Nexus. Not the Assimilator, dude. The Assimilator is worth a whole lot of nothing. And there we go. He does indeed decide to start target firing that one down. I mean, there is nothing here really here for Psycho to defend against that. He's putting up a single pylon here as well, but I think he's starting to realize that he needs minerals. That main base is gonna go down. Yeah, he's desperately trying to go up to 400 minerals, but he does not get it. The Nexus ends up falling, and I think that Keter just simply overpowered his opponent here, right? I mean, apparently the Zealot have got a death wish, so while his micro was really solid earlier on, he has indeed prevented his opponent from getting up to 400 minerals, and I think with that, Keter has indeed managed to destroy pretty much everything that is available here for his opponent. Now, he can't close this game out. He cannot close this game out. And actually, a couple of offensive Zealots now are also moving across the map. The Mothership Core is still hanging out here. I would actually love to see Psycho to simply send his Mothership Core across. I mean, there's currently no anti-air available right now for the player in red, right? He's got himself that, that Forge up, and he's got the Cybernetic Core, but he doesn't have any Stalkers or whatever available just yet. Still producing more and more Zealot. He doesn't have any gas. He's following this up with a Nexus as well, which I feel is maybe a little bit too greedy. And while apparently Keter is now also running a bunch of Zealots to their deaths here too, on the other end of the map, there is no way that he can close this game out right now, and he will have to win over the course of the next couple of minutes by just simply starving his opponent out, right? If he manages to just simply get some anti-air out, and if he prevents his opponent from really dealing the damage here, he should be in a pretty reasonable position. I mean, it's literally 2 Nexus against 0 here whatsoever. But Psycho has indeed arrived on the other end of the map right now with 3 Zealots. He also does have the Mothership Core here. Beautiful positioning. Those Zealots are going to be able to hold that line for days. And actually, I think that... Oh no, these photon cannons are very shortly finishing. This is going to be trouble here. But once these, units get, or these buildings rather get unpowered, this may very well become a bit of an issue. Look at these Zealots. They can tank so much of the damage. They actually deal more damage than Stalkers and whatnot as well. And I think that this last cannon actually may very well end up falling as well. Keter does currently not have any mining available whatsoever. He's sending all of the probes across the map. If he plans on throwing them away at these cannons, I don't think that is going to be the correct decision, because Keter is currently in a lot of trouble here on the other end of the map. I thought he actually was in a brilliant position here just a little bit prior, but he decided to go for that Nexus and not just simply follow this up with a bunch of home defense instead. He does not have any gas here whatsoever. He's mined absolutely 0 gas in total in this game, if I am not mistaken, and because of that, he has not been able to afford the Stalker or 2 that he needs to deflect his Mothership Core. I mean, the player in blue hasn't been mining for a very long time, right? Psycho has not been able to do that here for quite a little while. I guess he's planning to just simply leave the probes and the Zealot over here to defend against any kind of, potential counterattacks. While in the meantime, are you actually telling me that Psycho is gonna end up winning this game? There's no way, right? He was going up against 2 Nexi when he was having 0 himself. He doesn't... If only he would have not built up that last bunch of pylons and cannons there, he would have been able to just simply get himself, another Nexus up, and that would have been brilliant. Now, apparently, 1 hero probe trying to fight for Ire right there, taking down one of these warriors. It doesn't turn out to be a great suggestion, however. Psycho does decide to once again start pushing here with a handful of probes. But while this is all going on, right, the Mothership Core as well as the Zealot are moving across the map, or they are still on the other end of the map, rather. And, I mean... they're taking down that cyber core, and I think with that, it's going to be extremely difficult for Keter to really properly get the defenses going. I mean, I think he needs to power up these buildings once again and potentially go, and set up some defenses over here. I mean, once again, he's No, I don't think you want the pylon over there, dude. I think you need to defend your mineral line. Regardless, though, indeed, Psycho will very shortly find out that there is mining going on here once again, and that Mothership Core is having a field day. Look at that, already picking up 9 kills here in total, and considering there's absolutely nothing that shoots up, I think that Psycho may very well be able to, I mean, call this one an advantage? I don't know, actually. There's still so much mining going on here as well for Keter. While there is absolutely nothing here for Psycho, so this is really the army that he's got, I wouldn't be opposed to the idea of just simply sending all of the units that he's got across the map as well. That Zealot will end up falling. There's only a Mothership Core out right now for the player in blue here on the other end of the map. No more mining. He's got 11 probes, 1 Zealot, and 1 Mothership Core, right? The vast majority of that army is indeed across the map. Now, Psycho will be able to go after apparently one of these pylons here. Does not quite supply block his opponent, though, because he's still got supply up to 70, which I think is most definitely a nice little advantage here. But he can't deny mining for so very long. I mean, a Mothership Core is not particularly efficient when it comes to shooting down workers, but he's done a reasonable job at preventing his opponent from really getting any additional mining here, at the very least for the time being. Now, Keter has indeed sent out a probe here to the top left corner of the map. I would love to see him try and squeeze out another base here. If he prevents his opponent from really... Oh, he's actually adding on cannons right now. Alright, that worked for me as well. I was gonna say, if he really prevents his opponent, you know, from scouting that base in the top left, that would be perfect. If he can start up a Nexus over here, that would not be found here for quite a little while. Now, Psycho is indeed sending out a handful of the probes. I guess he plans on going after the opponent's mineral line here with these probes as well, but with 2 of these photon cannons finishing up, I think that Keter may very well be able to defend against this aggression here. After all, I think maybe... Oh, he's got to be very careful. This Mothership Core is his only lifeline right now. Now, it can indeed regenerate its shields quite effectively. The probes are here now, and I guess they are planning to go after the Nexus? I mean, he's... Oh! Oh, I actually really like this. So he's still got 200 minerals. I guess he's planning on putting up a pylon behind each of the mineral lines, or inside of each of the mineral lines. That way he can photon overcharge it and nuke down all of these probes in just a matter of seconds. There's a very... Oh, no, this is actually really smart. Psycho, you need to get over there, my man. You need to make sure that you photon overcharge that pylon, and I think he gets it. There we go. I like that one a lot. I was assuming he had absolutely no minerals available whatsoever anymore, but once again, a whole lot of these probes do end up falling. And I think that Keter, I mean... Keter is not going to be able to close this one out. That is going to be in range of the Nexus. The question is, though, how exactly will the player in blue close this one out? Can he fight these 2 photon cannons before they actually end up killing the Mothership Core? I mean, I guess he could put down a pylon and, like, photon overcharge it continuously, but little does he know, this pylon is not in range of those cannons, and his opponent does not have enough minerals anymore. I think that this may very well come to a draw. I mean, Psycho cannot actually kill these photon cannons right here. And Keter cannot actually kill any of his opponent's last standing buildings. But the thing is, of course, Keter does not know that his opponent does not have any minerals anymore. I mean, Keter at this point has got 45. If he could down a pylon right over... I don't even know how it works. Does a cannon have more range than a photon overcharge? I mean, that is something that I've never really wondered about the game before, but... Regardless, this is going to be a very tricky one. These are the last remaining probes here for the player in red. Another photon overcharge does get activated. More and more of them do end up falling. Look at that. That photon overcharge dealing so much damage. There are still 8 workers available, however. Probes are hanging out in each and every corner of the map. But I think that over time, both of these Nexi will end up falling here for the player in red. And I wonder if he realizes that his opponent, like, he needs minerals. He desperately needs minerals. I actually really do like this, but I mean, once again, that photon overcharge will come in very shortly, and I think these probes may very well all end up falling with the exception of one. There we go. That's a single probe remaining here for the player in red. Now, apparently, Psycho also going after that pylon here at the front, and I think that, I mean, this should be a draw. This should be a draw right now. I don't actually know what the outcome of this game is, of course, but this should really be a draw. So the Zealot, right now, is on the other end of the map, right? This is the one aggressive Zealot that was out earlier here as well. It was defending the main base for so very long. And I think that he's gonna try and clean up as many of these buildings over here as well. Main Nexus will end up falling in just a matter of seconds. And this is an awfully close game. I mean, this should be a draw. This can't not be a draw. Unless somehow, some way, this single probe manages to mine enough minerals here to go up to, like, you know, the full 400 to plant a nexus somewhere else. I mean, that nexus will end up falling here, but those cannons are impossible to kill, right? There's not a chance that the player in blue right now can really get that cannon going. And I mean, a couple more probes apparently have arrived here as well. These are going to be the last two on this side of the map. Apparently, there are still a couple hidden out on the map as well. But I think that this indeed does mean that both of the nexi go down. And no, Psycho! Why did you leave? No, you didn't need to leave, dude. Oh, Psycho. I guess Psycho got a little of... No way. He didn't need to leave. He did not lead to... Am I missing something really obvious? There is no way a Mothership Core can kill these two cannons and the Forge in time, right? That's just not going to be the case. That's just not going to be the case. Am I missing something really obvious here? I'm pretty sure that this one should have been a draw. I mean, both of these buildings, as well as this Mothership Core, will regenerate their shield, right? But of course, both of these cannons will do more damage than the Mothership Core can. I mean, they do far more work than... No, this should have been a draw. This would have been a draw for sure if Psycho would have set it out for, like, I don't know, I think it would have taken like 5 minutes or so for it to become a draw. I don't think there was a way that this wouldn't have been a draw. Anyway, let me know what your thoughts are down below in the comment section of the video. And other than that, I want to thank you for watching. Have an amazing day. Do not forget to smile, alright? And I will see you in the next one.